Guys, it's me, Objects21, and today I'm playing a game on Roblox called The Powder Box. It's basically a sandbox game where you can create anything you imagine. So let me show you what's in this game. First up, we got sand. Pretty obvious. Next up is snow. Unlike sand, if you create a tower of snow, none of it falls. Same with dirt, which is the next element. We also got salt here. Unfortunately, you can't eat this salt because, well, it's digital. Next up is sawdust, our first flammable element. As you can see, okay, I said to 3000 and nothing happened. If you use fire on it, it actually does get set on fire. So anyways, next up is water, our first liquid. And fun fact, let me just open up the dirt again. If you pour water on the dirt turns to mud, which isn't even possible in the thing selection. Next up is salt water. It's basically just water, but salt sprinkled into it. Next up is lava, our first hot one. We also got acid, which is a stronger version of water. Let me explain. So we got an ocean of water here, and if we pour lava on it, it just turns to rock. But let's do that same thing again, but this time pour acid over it. You can see it disintegrates the water. Next up is oil. There's nothing really good to do in the oil, but I know the USA will invade anything for oil. Next up is seed, and then plant, which, well, if you combine it with seed and water, can create some pretty cool contraptions with, like, the plant element. Next up is wax and wick. Yeah, there's not much with it. Next up is stone, which we already shown. Mixed with water and lava, and you get some stone. But instead, this one's actually obtainable. Next up is wood. You've seen sawdust, and now you've seen wood. Next up is metal, which even if you pour acid on it, it doesn't get destroyed. Never mind, it does. But it has a couple of stages before the acid disintegrates it. Next up is wool, which is an indestructible element. Not even acid can destroy it. Next up is glass, which you can put anything through it and get a reflection. Next up is ice, which is frozen water. See, it's already melting. Next up is fire. Yeah, our first element disappeared. So let me just pause and you can see what fire looks like when it's paused. Same thing with lightning. You can basically just strike anything with lightning. Next up is spark. Yeah, spark isn't all of that interesting. Next up though is foam, which once you place it, breaks into parts and starts racing towards the ground. Next up is smoke. The same thing, but this one floats into the air. Next up is cloud, which also floats into the air but drops some water along the way. Same thing with acid cloud, but this instead drops acid instead of water. Next up is thundercloud, and yet again the exact same thing, but instead of liquid, this one spawns lightning. You just have to wait for it. See? Some lightning. Next up is gas. The exact same thing as smoke. Who even asks for gas? Next up is coal and then gunpowder. And next up is Solid Fire, aka Torch, which can actually blow up gunpowder. Yeah, gunpowder is our first explosive. Next up is Bomb, which for some reason explodes as soon as it touches the floor. Next up is Fuse and then Firework, which if you put something hot near it, a piece of a firework shows up and explodes. Next up is Nitroglycerin, which is basically just explosive orange juice. Next up is the TNT and Nuke. The TNT is just normal, but the Nuke is the stronger version of the TNT. Insane, right? Anyways, next up is the Drain, which if you place something on it, it just disappears without any trace. Next up is the Cloner, which instead of a Drain, spawns stuff infinitely off the edge. Yeah, infinitely. It does not stop. Next up is the Electricity, and then the Wire, which works well with the electricity. Next up is the Logic Gate, which does nothing. The Inverter, which does nothing. The Sensor, which somewhat does something, I guess. And the Battery, let me just check, does absolutely nothing. But you guys may be wondering, Object 21, what about the Lamp? Well, that actually does something. It sends light all around. Pretty cool, huh? Next up is the Might, which can consume anything. Yes, it can consume metal. Anyways, next up is Cell X, which takes control of shit and then starts disintegrating it. Next up is the Player. Our first, playable character. That's why it's called Player. And let's remove him and spawn some water, because next up we got some fish, which out of water they just flop, but in water they are thriving. Next up is the box, which is where sawdust comes from. If you drop too many of them, or you drop from too high, you just have to wait a second. Next up is Barrel, which is an explosive entity and explodes if you drop it from a very high place. Man, that was a mouthful of shit. But we ain't here to play with all of them. We're here to explore the creations. So first up is almost everything in an egg. This looks insane, innit? So let's pause that and what just happened. Yep, this is cursed. Let's just continue on. Yeah, this fetches creation, so we have to wait until the loading is over before we can check out the liquid bomb. To activate it, it's simple. Fire. This will set off a fuse and wait for it. Wait for it. Kaboom! That is insane. And the best part is, as you can see, it launches all of the oil everywhere, creating like an oil explosion. Is that even a word? Oh, look, I found practical use for Cell X in infection. Does the player even get infected by Cell X? Well, it looks like it does, as he's losing health. And that's what happens when the player dies. Cool, innit? Yeah, literally no one can escape the infection from Cell X. It just sucks up shit, and then forever and ever, it's part of it. Let's check newest. Let's see the newest creations people have made. Like this one, watch. Wait, watch? Okay. Oh my god. Foam versus Torch. Who will win? Well, let's just wait by watching the fight. As you can see by here, the foam is turning into water, which will destroy everything. Never mind. Instead, the foam is just sitting on the torch. So, is it a tie? I say it's a tie. But what if we check out the oldest ones? Like, for example, the Rube Goldberg machine. Just press resume and see the fun. So, wood starts getting destroyed, and then here comes the lava. It sets off its fuse, which sends the mite down. Pretty sure the mite is used to, like, disintegrate all of those, so that, like, the gunpowder can explode, so that the salt can get dropped on some lava, maybe to send the lava to the oil, so, like, the oil becomes flammable. Yes, oil is flammable in the game, you just have to wait a bit. And there we go, we see the flames of the oil. I wonder where the lava's going, though. Yeah, literally nothing is happening. Maybe because the Rube Goldberg machine just does not want to work today. So we'll just add a big blaze to that. Yeah, you don't have to do that if you enter in, like, the Rube Goldberg machine. And since that's also going to take a while, fire. Yeah, fire is going to help a lot with this shit by blowing up everything. And that is what the Rube Goldberg machine is like. Yep, totally insane. Like, does anyone else feel like they've watched a crazy, like, war film or something? Anyways, next up is My Gun Testing by Jumia17. Oh, look. Let's go. Let's go. It's going to blow up a nuke. Bang! Yeah, people use, like, nukes to make guns, and then place, like, a woodly figure to, like, shoot it with. Yeah, poor wood. They don't deserve all of this wood abuse. We already have child abuse, animal abuse, elder abuse, and now wood abuse. But yeah, you can do wood abuse if you wanna, like, make wood houses and paper and whatnot. Yes, wood is made from paper. Anyways, next up is the soda machine. I barely doubt this soda is gonna taste good. Let's just press play on this. And already comes down the acid, which will disintegrate my bloody innards if I drink that. But don't worry though, the oil is coming to save the day by, like, disintegrating all of that. Yep, they're basically just fighting for worst drink ever made. Like, would you drink that if it had oil on the top of it? No. Do I want to, like, throw up? My answer is no, I would not like to throw up. That would just be absolutely disgusting. Like, I wouldn't like to vomit everywhere, bro. But anyways, so let's look for another one which is noteworthy of checking, huh? Big sun and small earth. What about the moon? Like, I can make the moon. So let me just find stone on here. And boop, that's a little moon. Yeah, but it kind of looks like a solar eclipse with the moon in front of the sun. Anyways, now let's check out what is that. A YouTube play button made out of nitroglycerin. But don't press resume. It will look something like this. Yep, it was all made out of nitroglycerin. Well, time to explode it. Whoop. And it all explodes. Big explosion, innit? But 1 isn't the only thing. You can also set it to 0 and make stuff really fucking thin. 1's like the normal brush they give you, and you can set it all the way up to 30. At this point it gets a little wacky. You can also have brushes like square, which makes everything squarey, and also line, where you can like create a line of shit. Let me just set it down so I can show you an example to show whatever your heart's desire. Show them. Yeah. That is what I am talking about, bro. Oh yeah, before I load another creation, let me show you. You know this water? You can set it up at anything. 2000 and all of the water evaporates. At minus 1000, it all turns to ice, stopping the evaporation, but still freezing all of the water to its last atom, creating a weird art picture nonetheless. Whatever, I'm melting all of that with some lava. Oh, wait a minute, it was surrounded by that all along. Well, that is sad. Get it? I tried to make tears out of a water thing. Wait a minute, let's check out the most liked paintings in the game. For example, might removing. I forgot to tell you this, but you'll see soon. The water can actually destroy the mite. It like gets in its place and destroys it the entire way. Like, can you believe it? Water's just a menace to the mite. So let me just spawn a sea of mite, then a bunch of water over it to attack it and shit. Yep, see any difference? It's making like this yellow liquid, which for some reason I cannot find in the editor. So let's erase it all with the eraser. Yep, the eraser. And if you want to get rid of anything you're not proud of. Yep, it's basically just brush, but you can, but it doesn't take up so much space. For example, you accidentally spawned too much seed and just want to make a little garden. Eraser. Yep, it destroys all of it for you and you can start over. Brilliant, innit? This wasn't created by me though, and I don't know who created the game, but special thanks to them if they're like watching the video. Anyway, we're going back to seeing the newest creations. Like this one, Ultimate Destruction. Yeah, basically all of the nuclear things like barrels, nitroglycerin, TNT, nuke, gunpowder, fuse, and firework, which is in this bomb icon. But let's just unpause and wow, nothing's happening. But just wait, I am going to make something happen by setting off the fire. Yeah, but let's set those last two off and create a beautiful fireworks display. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it, yeah! Anyways, oh no. Yep, you can tell the player is going to die. So let's see what's happening. Oh, this is really starting to like my game. Just like the poor player locks himself inside a pool full of might. Rest in peace. By the way, since I don't want this video to go on forever, I'm going to check like 20 more creations or more. Yeah, I don't know when this video started. Let me just check. 22 minutes ago. So, like, I'm gonna check like 20 more inventions because of like 22 minutes or something. I think that's a reasonable amount. Yeah, it's going to be hard to pick creations because there is way too many good ones. Anyways, next up is Save the Fish. Yeah, you have to choose one of these. You see the sand, the snow, the dirt, the salt, the gunpowder, the nitroglycerin, the oil, and the acid don't work. But if you release water and salt, you are. Wait a minute. No! Now acid and oil are racing. Come on, save it. No, it's evaporating in water. Wait a minute. I want to test something. Let me just place some oil. Can fish survive in it? Yes, they can. They seem to be swimming freely. Let's set it on fire. We are about to see them die. By the way, remember when I said later in the video when I say sawdust is flammable, or we can use for fire to show you? Yep, it's all fiery. I felt like I forgot to tell you that earlier. Tell me in the comment section if I actually, told you guys. Yeah. Anyways, don't click this. What? There's nothing too bad with it. Is that like... Wait a minute. I feel like it's lightning. Boom. Yep. Shocking. But that was just a sort. I don't care. There's 18 more creations, but I want to check it out. So let's just get on with it with Sandbox in Powder Box. Wait a minute. Let's use a cloner. The cloner up here will like create sand falling forever and ever and ever and ever. Yep. Step into Christmas, let's all together. We can watch the snow falling ever and ever. Yeah, I just love that song by Elton John. But now with that done, we now only have like 17 creations before I end the video. So I gotta choose wisely on what I am thinking with these creations. But it's easy. I can just like click the button with the 2 right arrows. And see this. A working volcano. Oh my god. Yep, we can also add some like cloners here to give a few pizzazz to make the volcano start erupting. All of the nitroglycerin, add some fire, and yeah, we like got a horrible fireball which like drops my FPS, man. It used to be 6, now it adds number 30, but we still have 16 more creations. Can you believe it? Like, this is already taking shit out of me. So instead of 20 creations, we'll shorten it down to 10. Which this is my 5th creation. A nice waterfall scenery. Wonder if I am what the fuck? Yep, I am saving this as a creation. New creation. Wait a minute. We have no time to save that. Let's go into the community and add and upload. Yep, upload. And the world preview and warning. You can get banned and all your creations get deleted. I know. Upload. Creation uploaded. Let's check the newest. And wait for what? It does not appear. Maybe it's still uploading it. Who knows? Anyways, let it grow. Sure thing. Water. Yeah, 6th creation of the day. Already dumped a ton of water over it, which is making mud. But as soon as it's all of water done, the plant would have grown. But let's remove the premise, and instead we can let it die, and let it shrivel up and die, like that tree from one scene in like the Lorax movie that released in like 2012, made by Illumination. By the way, I kind of want to end the video with like my create. It's already here. Amazing. Yeah, you can like check it out if you want. Whoa, lava or water. 7th creation. Who do you think will win? Like if water, subscribe if lava. Let's see who wins. And like lava makes, and like water makes it to the player first. Which means the player likes water more than the lava. But it's too bad. We're going to drop some lava. But who cares? Let's spawn a bunch of fire. There we go. You can also spawn some lava, and now the player is stuck. Yep, I'm pretty much like Pillow from BFDI at the moment. But now we're going to get 3 more creations. So wait a minute, what's this new one? I'm hashtag. Oh my god. No, his stomach is going to get disintegrated. And I'm gonna kill him. 3,000. And there goes the player. He's now dead. His brain is now completely discombobulated. But now I'm going to check like 2 more of them. So why don't we go by user? I've only uploaded one, end of world. Now let's check if that junior guy has created anything. I believe it was 17 or something. Waiting. He made more than just my gun testing. He made like 9 of them. Choose weapon to kill zombies. Yeah, he made my gun testing and Big Sun and Small Earth, as well as Figure. Oh my god, Figure's gonna wait. Why is he made of TNT? Yeah, like that kills him. Only one more creation left. And this is my video. Why not make it my creation? Yep, end of the world. And 3, 2, 1. The world is now ending. Like, this is done by unpausing waterfall scenery, which like causes this massive mess. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to make like a message that says bye. So let me just there we go. So that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe and thing on the screen.